Good evening, here are tonight's top stories. A 6-year-old boy hospitalized after a shooting incident in Georgetown. An Albuistown resident robbed of a $2 million gold and diamond chain. Tragedy strikes at the National Aquatic Center with the drowning of 14-year-old Joel Adams. The Guyana Society for the Blind faces a series of robberies. A nude man found unresponsive in a Carafesta Avenue trench dies at GPHC. A robbery suspect shot during an attempted robbery is remanded. A mason is also remanded for attempting to rob a police officer. Lastly, a fatal motorcycle accident claims the life of a father in Mabaruma. Stay tuned for the details of these stories. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more news.
6-year-old boy hospitalized after shooting incident in Georgetown. A 6-year-old boy is in serious condition after being shot in the head during an incident in Georgetown. The shooting occurred at approximately 19:45 hours on Tuesday at Charles Street, Charlestown. According to police reports, the child was standing next to his 39-year-old mother, a food vendor, on the eastern side of Charles Street when the suspect approached on a black motorcycle with an unknown registration number, carrying a gun. The suspect discharged 4 rounds in the direction of a man known as Crab, who was standing nearby. Crab fled the scene, but in the process, the 6-year-old boy was struck by a bullet and fell to the ground. The boy's mother immediately picked him up and rushed him to a city hospital, where he is currently receiving medical attention. His condition is listed as serious. 2 9mm spent shells were recovered at the scene. The police are actively searching for the suspect and the man known as Crab. Investigations are ongoing.
Fatal motorcycle accident claims life of father in Mabaruma. Tragedy struck in Mabaruma on Monday as 24-year-old Zedin Calistro lost his life in a devastating motorcycle accident along the Wana stretch. Calistro, a loving father, reportedly collided with a load of mud obstructing the roadway, resulting in fatal injuries. The incident has cast a pall of sorrow over the community, leaving Calistro's relatives and friends grief-stricken. Sincere condolences pour in as they grapple with the sudden loss. This tragedy adds to a concerning trend of motorcycle accidents across Guyana in recent days. Just yesterday, another motorcyclist tragically lost their life in Cato. Similarly, a fatal accident claimed the life of yet another motorcyclist in Burbus yesterday. Earlier last Friday, another fatal accident occurred on Princes Street, adding to the mounting toll. This morning, a motorcyclist was injured in Lethem, underscoring the ongoing risks faced by motorcyclists on Guyana's roads. Authorities continue to urge vigilance and caution among all road users to help prevent further tragedies.
Tragic drowning incident at National Aquatic Center claims life of 14-year-old Joel Adams. Joel Adams, a 14-year-old student from the Dennis Street Sophia Care Center, tragically lost his life on Tuesday around 15:05 hours at the National Aquatic Center in Liliendahl, Georgetown. Adams, along with a group of children, left the care center at approximately 13:30 hours to attend a swim program at the aquatic center. Miss Kamwati Dasrat, the caretaker, recounted that at around 14:55 hours, a whistle blew, signaling the children to exit the pool. A swim coach witnessed Adams performing a backflip into the pool, after which a lifeguard immediately jumped in to rescue him. Despite being swiftly pulled out of the water and attended to by an on-site nurse, Adams could not be revived. He was transported by ambulance to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Adams' body is currently at the Georgetown Public Hospital's mortuary awaiting a post-mortem examination as investigations into the incident continue.
Albuistown resident robbed of $2 million gold and diamond chain. Hudson Thompson, a 28-year-old resident of Albuistown, Georgetown, was robbed of a gold and diamond chain valued at $2 million. The incident occurred around 1900 hours HRS on Tuesday at James Street, Albuistown. According to a statement from police headquarters, Thompson was seated in front of a shop and on his phone when two men on a black motorcycle approached him. The pillion rider dismounted, drew a handgun from the crotch of his pants, and demanded that Thompson hand over his chain. Thompson attempted to resist, but the suspect discharged a round in his direction, snatched the chain, and struck him across the forehead with the gun. The two perpetrators then fled the scene on the motorcycle, heading east along James Street. Fortunately, no one was injured by the gunshot. Police questioned individuals in the area and recovered one 9mm spent shell at the scene. Investigations into the robbery are ongoing. Nude man found unresponsive in Cesta Avenue trench dies at GPHC. The Guyana Police Force, GPF, reported that an unidentified man found nude and motionless on Monday in a trench on Cesta Avenue, Georgetown, has died. The incident was reported to the Brickdam Police Station at approximately 18:45 Police ranks, along with an emergency team from the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, GPHC, and a doctor, responded to the scene. Upon arrival, the responders found an unresponsive male of African descent lying on the road. Despite efforts to resuscitate him, he remained unresponsive. The man was rushed to the GPHC, where he was pronounced dead while receiving treatment. The police noted that no marks of violence were observed on the man's body. His body has been taken to the morgue for a post-mortem examination. The investigation into the circumstances surrounding the man's death is ongoing.
Mason remanded for attempting to rob cop. In a court session held on Tuesday, a 29-year-old Mason from the B Field Sophia squatting area found himself facing remand to prison on an attempted robbery charge after allegedly targeting a police corporal. Delon Jones appeared before Magistrate Faith Magusti at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. The incident reportedly took place late on Saturday, July 6, 2024, around 11:20 p.m. on Orange Walk, Borda, Georgetown. According to reports, Corporal Lennox Daniels, who was on duty and armed, noticed Jones and another individual approaching on a motorcycle. Jones, acting as the pillion rider, swiftly dismounted the motorcycle and brandished a pair of scissors, threatening Corporal Daniels to surrender his possessions. Reacting swiftly, Corporal Daniels drew his licensed firearm, prompting Jones to freeze in his tracks while his accomplice fled the scene successfully. Subsequently, Jones was apprehended and taken into custody at the Albertown Police Station. During his court appearance, he pleaded not guilty to the charge of attempted robbery under arms. The prosecution opposed bail, highlighting the gravity of the offense and pointing to CCTV footage capturing the incident as reasons for their objection. As a result, Jones was remanded to prison pending further legal proceedings. He is scheduled to reappear in court on July 16, 2024. Guyana Society for the Blind plagued by series of robberies. The Guyana Society for the Blind, located on High Street in Georgetown, has long served as a refuge for many visually impaired and blind individuals, offering a place to acquire skills and find community. Unfortunately, this haven has recently become a target for criminals, leaving its residents feeling vulnerable and unsafe. Over the past few months, the society has experienced a troubling increase in robberies, with 3 incidents reported in June and July alone. Odessa Blair, a representative of the society, expressed her concerns to the newsroom, highlighting the severity of the situation. "It has become more intense now, they are coming through the windows. And we don't know how, but they are taking away a set of valuables," Blair lamented. Despite the premises being secured with grilled windows and doors, the robbers have managed to find ways to break in and steal valuables. The building shows evidence of broken windows, a stark reminder of the repeated intrusions. Blair suggested that the society might be targeted because its frequent visitors are blind or visually impaired, making it difficult for them to catch the perpetrators in the act or identify them afterward. As a result, the residents are left counting their losses and yearning for justice. "As persons with disabilities who are trying to make a life for ourselves, it's not fair to us to be carrying all these losses," Blair emphasized. The society is now appealing to the relevant authorities to address the issue and provide much-needed security support to protect its vulnerable members.
Shot robbery suspect remanded. A 29-year-old suspect, who was shot during a robbery on June 30th, was remanded to prison on Tuesday when he appeared at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. The accused, Rahim Ben, faced charges of robbery under arms, committed against Dominic Kasim at Irving and Forshaw Streets, Georgetown. The charges against Ben allege that he, in the company of another individual and armed with a knife, robbed Kasim of an Apple iPhone 11 valued at $150,000. During his court appearance before Principal Magistrate Faith McGusty, Ben, who resides at Lot 23 Meadowbrook Housing Scheme, Georgetown, pleaded not guilty. According to the case details, Kasim was standing outside his premises at Irving and Forshaw Streets around 1945 HRS, supervising some work while armed with a licensed firearm. Kasim noticed a motorcycle approaching and stopping alongside him. Ben, who was the pillion rider, allegedly approached Kasim with a knife, stabbed him several times, and took his phone. As Ben attempted to flee to the waiting motorcycle, the rider appeared to reach for something in his waist. In response, Kasim discharged 3 rounds in their direction with his firearm. Ben was shot, and the rider fled the scene, abandoning the motorcycle. Police arrived at the scene after Kasim reported the incident. Ben was subsequently escorted to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, where he was admitted as a patient and later charged. In court, Ben, who was unrepresented, claimed that on the night of the incident, he was on a drinking spree near the Stabroek Market and later left on a motorcycle to continue partying at the seawall. He stated that he stopped at Irving and Forshaw Streets to inspect the motorcycle due to strange noises. He then saw someone running towards him, armed with a firearm, and shooting at him, resulting in a gunshot wound to his back. Ben denied stealing the phone, insisting he was wrongfully shot. Despite Ben's claims, prosecutor Quincy Lakin objected to bail, citing the seriousness and prevalence of the offense, and revealed that Ben had prior charges of a similar nature. The court was also informed that Kasim's phone was recovered. Magistrate McGusty denied bail and scheduled Ben to return to court on July 16, 2024, for further statements.